Hello and welcome to this video. This is now the seventh video in my Docker Basics tutorial series. In this video we're going to be creating an NPM project using Docker. So basically we're on the assumption that you don't have Node, NPM, nothing like that installed on your one machine. It's a brand new machine, never installed anything apart from Docker. So with that said, let's get started. For us to be able to do this, we're going to need Node because we're going to have to execute npm to be able to create this one project. So before we can do this, we actually need to download the Node image. And we can do this with run, but let's just be clean, and we're going to download the latest version of Node. As you could see, I had to speed up the video a little bit. It did take a little bit of time, not too much time. Now we've done this, we want to know where the working directory is in the Node image, so we can execute code there and we can map a volume to it as well. So what we have to do is we have to either read the documentation on Docker Hub, or we can come here and say Docker image inspect and then Node, and we come here and we see that the working directory is then nothing. It doesn't have any volumes and so it's just basically in that it's the root folder. So we can prove this by saying docker run --rm, and we'll just say node, and we'll just say ls-al just to say, hey, where are you at the moment? And we see that we are basically at the root directory, and we can see we're at / here right now. So we don't have to worry about this too much. However, we want to make a directory for this as well. So let's now continue on, say docker run --rm, and the next thing that we want to have is then -v, and we're going to say we're going to map it to a folder within inside of this one directory that's going to get created, and we're going to map it to the app directory within inside of the one container that's going to get created, and we are going to say -w, and this is to say, hey, make the working directory /app. So any commands that we create is automatically going to be in this one directory already. So now if we run this and we say then pwd, we can now see that we got it run, and we're now in the app directory. So we can just go press up and run this once again, and this time we can run npm init. Now, to be able to run the npm init, it's going to ask us a couple of questions that we have to be able to fill out. So we need some way of interacting with it, and to do this we actually have to say -it as well, because we want it to have a terminal to be able to speak to. All right, so we run it again, and it's now going to ask us, what do we want the package name to be? We're just going to call it David Thorne app, and then the version could be 1.0. Descriptions can be a text here, and the entry point is going to be index.js, whatever. Test command we don't care about, get repository we don't care about, keywords can be keywords, author's me, the license we don't care about. And is this all okay? It's now going to write to the package.json. We're happy with that, so we can just say yes. And now, as you can see, it's we do an ls of here and a tree of app. We can see that it created our package.json. And if we want to then, for example, have, we want to now install a dependency. So let's just say npm install, and or npm and then install, and I don't know, we want to have then like bootstrap, for example. And it's going to go off, and so now looking at our package.json, we see that it's installed Bootstrap. Now, I do have Node and npm installed on my MacBook, but this is not being executed on my MacBook. It's being executed within inside of the one container. Now, it's telling us that we should update it as well. So let's go ahead and do this. Let's do exactly what it says, and let's come back to this and just continue doing this again. And we're going to say npm install -g, and we're going to upgrade the npm version, and it will go off and it will download and install all of these things. And the only thing that we need to care about is the main output afterwards. Now, that didn't change anything to our app folder. It just did it on the one container itself. So this is basically it. We now know that we can run any arbitrary code within inside of a container. We can run any arbitrary npm or JavaScript code on a Node container. Okay, Yeah, this is just an introduction to how to do it. It's going to follow into creating other projects that are to do with like full stack development and so on. But I just wanted to give you some form of introduction of why to use Docker, and this is another reason why. If you do have any questions, please feel free to put them in the comment section below. If you did like the video, why not give it a thumbs up? If you disliked it, I would much prefer a dislike and a comment to say why you disliked it, because it can just help me. Otherwise, thank you very much for watching. It really does mean a lot to me. I will see you in the next video. Ciao, ciao, and goodbye.